Hello, CUSD. I hope you're all doing well. This is Michael Vizzosi in the assessment department. I want to touch base with you regarding civics and best practices. This presentation will serve as your civics CUSD best practices training. It will cover test security, it'll cover procedures and dates. So let's start with the title slide. Pretty simple stuff. It's your basic title slide, but it does give you a link to the YouTube channel, which includes all our tutorial videos. And you can find that through the assessment website, through the staff links within the CUSD website. So if you go to staff resources and you go to departments, once you get to departments, you hit assessment. You get to assessment and it'll give you all the necessary information, including the assessment YouTube channel. Just wanted to show you that. Here is our team. Adam Sachs is our Director of Accountability and Assessment. Sarah Ravel, Dino Katsaris, Amanda Billings, and Michael Vizzosi, myself, are your assessment specialists. We are here to help you out. The civics exam is in the administration window is in November. And that's for paper-based and computer-based testing. The window is November 1st through November 18th. And School City is the platform we use. It is our district's assessment administration tool. The civics exam can be administered, like I said, online or computer-based. The benefit of online administration is it gives you immediate feedback for your students. You want to plan for about 45 to 90 minutes. For a testing session, you can view the test results in Infinite Campus once it has been uploaded. So once the students' scores have been uploaded, it's posted to their transcript and you can view it that way. Or you can look through your credit check SSRS reports in the student information reports section of Infinite Campus. That's all available to you. So that's a key to and we'll talk later on how to find your students, those that have not passed. So who does take the test is the key. So as we look through this, who takes the test is all juniors. And I'm going to go ahead and pump this up to an actual slideshow so you can see some of the information a little clearer. So as we look through this, all current juniors will take the test. Typically, this is done through the USAZ history class. That is the most efficient way to do it. Now, some students won't have a USAZ class. That's something we'll talk about in a little bit here. Any senior that did not pass last year, that is someone that you also want to administer the test to. Seniors new to our district that maybe have not passed the civics exam, good way to kind of monitor that is if a student has told you they have passed the civics exam, we'll just need a transcript from the actual district or school they came from. There is a flow chart on our website that shows you exactly the procedure that needs to happen for that to get posted to the transcript. And you might have some seniors right here that maybe have not completed their coursework from last year. They didn't quite graduate. They are completing up their coursework. They may need to also take the civics exam. And you all will always see a pass on the transcript when the actual test is completed. Remember, the test window is November 1st through the 18th. There can be we can open the window and keep it open so you can monitor those kids and make sure that they have taken the test. So keep that in mind when we're looking at the window. We just want to test as many students as possible within that window. There is the spring test calendar where if some students have not taken it, we can still administer in the spring also. Test coordinator responsibilities before testing actually begins. This would include the assessment facilitators more than likely. You're going to want to prepare a list of students, and that's fairly simply to do if you're looking at juniors within the USAZ classes. You want to make sure that you communicate those testing and room schedules to both staff and families, because on the day of the test, we don't want a lot of absent students, hopefully, and you want to send your schedule to us by October 22nd, but you can be sooner. But we want to make sure that we have an idea of when you're going to test, just so we can troubleshoot for you. Most of you have already done that. Help prepare your rooms where testing will take place. Train your test administrators. Send them this video, and there will be a Google form they'll have to sign off on. and you want to prepare their testing materials for them, sign-in sheets, pencils, earbuds, when it's necessary for those that receive special accommodations. Test coordinator responsibilities prior to testing. You want to locate good testing rooms. Most computer labs and most classrooms will serve that purpose. You want to arrange your seating, obviously, so students can't easily see each other's computer screens or the test booklets if you're using paper. So others, and it's easy for you to move about the room. Typically, your classroom will serve that function. The modalities of testing. There are two different modalities. There's the paper-based testing and the computer-based testing. With the paper-based testing, we're going to show you, and there are tutorials on how to do this in our YouTube channel. You have to print test booklets, and you want to print class sets. You want to print one for each student. Just tell them not to write on the test. You want student-specific bubble sheets. We'll show you how to do that, and grade cam you need for scoring it. For the computer-based test, you log in. You activate, as a teacher, you'll activate the online test and provide them with a PIN. They type in that PIN. You get immediate feedback once they're done. And there are randomized questions and answer choices if that is selected. We did have a little bit of a hiccup with scoring when that happened, so typically I don't like to utilize that function, but it's something, because there are 100 questions, it's, as long as you're monitoring the room actively, everything should work just fine. Sites have both options during the testing window, November 1st through November 18th. Key for us: testing information and test security. Complete overview: you must be an employee of the school district. You must be trained in proper test security and test administration procedures, which is occurring right now. And you must be familiar with the test administration directions, which pretty much is straightforward when you are administering this test, because you are distributing the test and then you're announcing to the students, just like you would any other state test, of the parameters. You can't access your phones, all electronics off. There's no need to have anything else on your desk. If it's paper, you have a paper-based test, you have the paper booklet in front of you and the answer bubble sheet, and then you also have your computer-based test, you just have a computer in front of you, and you must follow the best procedures and practices that are included within this video. The test administrator, you agree that all materials are restricted. The test materials will be kept under lock and key if you're using a printed copy of it. No student will be allowed to remove any of the test materials from the testing room. And you cannot obviously change or alter responses for any scoreable document. Test security. It's unethical and will be viewed as a violation for any person to discuss any of the test items during the assessment, capture any images or any parts of the test via electronic devices, or examine, read, or review the content with students during the test. That is a violation and is considered unethical, and we'll trust that won't happen. It is also unethical and be viewed as a violation if you instruct students to go back and reread or redo any responses after they've finished the test, and you review any of the students' responses, and you read and review students' scratch paper, or you try to influence the students' responses by making any kind of gestures while students are taking the test itself. The test security agreement, only will be required to sign once for the current school year, will be for the CIVICS exam and specific to it. Must be stored. It will be stored with us in the district office, but that's an easy thing to do because we're going to use a Google form. I put the link right here. If you click on that link, within the once you've administered the training to your staff, you'll be able to go into the Google form, log into your Google account, and complete it. If you have a situation within your testing environment where the students are disruptive, students who are disruptive may include students that are disruptive during testing, refuse to test, receive help from others, or engage in behavior not consistent with your acceptable classroom behavior. There are possible actions. These are site-based, but you can move the student to a different testing location. Students must be allowed to, and I apologize, it keeps moving forward. Students must be allowed to continue to test. And that is just something that needs to happen because this is a test that is required for graduation. The best solution would be to move them to a different location if possible. Students should be subject to disciplinary actions after completion of the testing, but they must be allowed to continue to test and complete. Unacceptable devices and materials during the test itself. Obviously, cell phones not allowed to be used in the classroom or during the testing. Students must be allowed to continue to test once the unacceptable device has been removed. I apologize once again for that to keep moving forward. So please keep that in mind. I'm going to get off the actual slideshow here because it keeps moving forward without my doing. So the steps to the paper-based tests, we're just going to review those right here. So there is a tutorial right here that if you look at the YouTube channel, it will provide you with a tutorial on how to print bubble sheets and how to print an actual test booklet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of navigate away and show you where that's at. So if I'm looking at assessments, I'm going to go to my assessments. So I'm looking at School City. I've logged in through Clever, through School City. I'm in my School City account. And here's the CIVICS. And it's a simple thing you can do. You can search CIVICS in this search bar right here. It's easy to find. You don't want to click on the actual title of the test itself, because if you click on the title of the test itself, it's just going to give you a blueprint of the test. You don't want that. What you want to do is navigate over here to the right, and you'll see that within documents. Now, once you click on documents, this is for paper-based testing. The key for you that is important when you're trying to find an actual test, you want to be on the district tab. I know that seems kind of silly, but it's easy to miss and be on the wrong tab. You could be on your school tab. You could be on my assessments tab, which is I don't on this view, but you want to be on the district tab. That is step one. Please be on the district tab. Once I'm on the district tab, I can search for the CIVICS exam, and I can type in CIVICS. It's an easy thing to do. You press return, and you're going to find the CIVICS exam. Once again, you move over to the function keys over here, and you go to the actual document folder, and you can click on it, and you'll see two documents in there. One is the answer key, and one is the actual test booklet. You can download and print, and the way you can view whether this is the actual test itself, you can kind of scroll down and you can see that's the actual test. This one over here is just the blueprint and the answer key. So you want to print this one, download it, print it, make your copies for your class set if it's paper-based. Keep in mind, once you download, please delete the file, because it is a test security violation to leave it on your computer or keep it. So please keep that in mind. That's how you print the test booklet. Now, how do you print the test answer bubble sheets for the students? You go to the little printer icon. And when you press the printer icon, you'll have because this is my view, has all the schools here. You will just have your actual class. So you'll have your actual schedule there, and you'll have your courses, and you can print the roster that you need. So what you do is you check the box that you want. So let's say we're going to pretend that Arizona College Prep Erie campus, it's just Arizona College Prep High School now. But once we check that box there, you're going to see that you've selected all your students. I check that box. I've selected everyone in Arizona College Prep's campus. What I then do is I go down here and I go to print answer sheets. These are specific to each student. If you print generic answer sheets, it's just going to be a blank answer sheet where the student will have to bubble in their information. You don't want to do that. Print answer sheets. So once I've checked my name or my class, I can expand this and look at the class periods that I have. Here, because I have a different view than you guys do, I have all the teachers on Arizona College Prep's campus. But when I go to a specific teacher and I expand it, you're going to see this. This will be more what your view looks like. Once you've selected the classes that you want to print answer sheets for, you hit print answer sheets, and it'll download a PDF file, and then you can go ahead and print those answer sheets. It's pretty specific and self-explanatory. However, once I've done the paper-based test, the other modality is the computer-based test. How do I do that? Well, you do the same process, except you're not going to print anything. So I'm going to go back to my main screen here where I found the CIVICS, and I'm going to toggle over to the online administration here, which is the computer icon. Once I hit that computer icon, I'm gonna get a filter that shows. Now for me, it's going to be school, teacher, and period. Yours is going to be teacher and period. That's what yours is going to say. And you'll be able to select by your period, or you'll be able to select by you'll be able to select by your period or your grade level. So for me, if I was going to go look at I could go to a certain school, then I could go to a particular teacher, a particular teacher within that school, and then I could go to a particular period. That would allow you to select the class that you want to activate as far as an online administration. That's the easiest way you can do it. Now, there are tutorials for that on the YouTube channel, but you follow these steps within. You click on the the assessment tab. Make sure once you've clicked on the assessment tab in School City, make sure that you are on the district tab. Once again, going back to this, I click on the assessments tab. I want to make sure I'm in the district tab. Once you've done that, if you look at the procedure, you select the computer monitor. After all the students have been tested, then all your scores will be there. But what you want to do is select the teacher and period of the students that are in front of you as a proctor that are ready to test. So if you have an absent student, don't go ahead and select. You can select all your students, and then any student that's absent, uncheck them before you actually activate the test. Because once you've done that and you've completed it, you can activate the actual test itself. Once again, I do have YouTube videos that show you exactly how to activate a test, and we do have a simple little checklist that'll kind of take you through that. It's pretty simple and straightforward. Going back to the actual PowerPoint itself, well, I'm actually on the PowerPoint. That's for the computer-based test and the paper-based test. If you need any troubleshooting or you need any help at all with actually accessing or activating an online test, I'll be happy to send the video actually with the training, so that way you can watch the video also. There are other testing opportunities. So when you're actually following the initial steps to find the assessments and to begin watching your students take the test online, you can find some students are not assigned to a particular grade level roster. They're not in your U.S. history class, or they're not in an actual class that is available. You can also select by grade level, which is grade 11 or 12. If you are not a classroom teacher, let's say for example you are a counselor that is administering the test, the students can be placed under your name, or if you're an assessment facilitator, the students can also be placed under your name under grade 11 or 12. That way you can find those students and be able to access them just like a classroom teacher would. The computer-based test and the paper-based test and the computer-based test, the way I just demonstrated in School City, is when you are a classroom teacher. If you're not a classroom teacher, you may have students that aren't in a USAZ history course, and you need to find them. You can find them also by grade level, and that is a simple thing to do because you'll see grade 11 and grade 12. So those students will be placed under your name. Test results are pretty simple. Once you've located the test results, or once the students have completed the test results, you can see test results in a number of different ways. You can go to actually reports. You can do it through the waffle cone here at the top, or if you want to, you can go to reports here. Either way will work, but once the students have completed the test, you can find them in there. and it's easy to see, and you get immediate feedback. That way you can see how your students did. And you can also, once you've actually completed the test itself, let's go back to the actual assessments themselves. We're going to go back to the assessment. Hopefully I can get there. There we go. You're on the district tab. We've done our CIVICS search. And you can look at the test results right there also. So a lot of the function keys here work to your advantage. So I would utilize those as much as possible. So now we go back to the PowerPoint here. Once you've looked at the test results, you can kind of see where students have found. Now you can review this slide, but how I just showed you is the way you want to do it. Once again, you go through the waffle cone. It takes you to the test results screen, and then you can filter by student and by teacher once you get in there. And it's a simple thing to do. I can't filter and show you because it has real student data on there, but going back one more time to the screen, you go to the assessment tab, you go to the reports, you go to test results, and then once you get to test results, you can filter by student, by course, by school, but yours would be teacher and period. Once again, mine looks a little different than yours. But you can filter up here using this blue icon here. This isn't the one assessment that we want, and I'm glad that's not on the right one. We can hit change assessment. We don't want that one. What we do want is we want the district tab. We want history because that's what the test is. And we want to look at the AZ Civics one. And once you've done that, you hit apply and it'll give you the test results. So you may have to change the assessment if it's not the one you want. This one happened to be on 2022 8th grade science quarter 1 on final. I don't want that. I want civics. So once I apply that, that'll change. So keep in mind, if that's not the assessment you want, you have to hit that little character, and then you can filter after that, and you can filter your students after that. So having said that, computer-based steps for students. Once again, staff you access through Clever. Students, I have a video on this also. You access School City using the students link through Clever. Once you have activated the test, students will go in, they'll go to Launchpad, they'll go to Take Assessments flip card. They'll find the current they'll find their assessment there because you have activated the test. You'll give them their 4-digit PIN if it's an online administration, and they'll be able to access the test. If it's paper-based, you're doing on paper and bubble sheets, so that will be grade cam scoring. Tips and hints: don't print generic bubble sheets. We mentioned that. Answer sheets are not multiple pages. Just keep that in mind. If a student sheet is unavailable, contact us in the assessment office and we'll work through that. Keep the bubble sheets until Infinite Campus upload is complete. If this is a paper-based test, please don't throw your bubble sheets away until you actually have uploaded your results. That is a key, because once you have gotten rid of the bubble sheets and you haven't uploaded the results, there's no return. There is bubble sheet issues. You want to check the condition of your bubble sheet. Sometimes there are some stray marks that you might need to erase. If a student's name is highlighted in yellow after scoring, you're going to want to go back and check for errors. Sometimes a student doesn't erase well enough, but you'll see their name once you put it in the grade cam scoring. That shows you, okay, this is an error. I have a YouTube tutorial on how to do grade cam scoring and how to troubleshoot when you get those yellow information. Use Google Chrome when you do grade cam or when you do School City, and we will help you once again any way possible. You want to make sure that at the end of it all, you click upload results. Once again, the benefit of online testing is you activate it, and it's simple to access. And then once you access it and have activated the test, the student pretty much gets you do get immediate feedback. We will add the accommodations for you, so disregard this right here. don't pay attention to that, we will add that in for you because that's something that we'll take care of. I have created a link to the actual online administration and instruction manual and also the answer key that's available, and it also includes a study guide for your students. That way you can pass that study guide out to your students. Some key points before we close out here. One thing you want to pull a list, some key points. Pull a list of non-USAZ history students that may have taken the class over the summer. This could be an EVID student that maybe is not in a U.S. history class. You want to make sure that you are finding those students that maybe are not in a history class because they exist, they're out there. Review any seniors that have not passed it, students that may be new to our district. And if a student passed the exam from our district, please just follow the flow chart and I'll have it attached to this presentation. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or anyone in the assessment team. We'll be happy to answer it. If you have any issues at all, be glad to help. Have a great day, guys, and we'll talk to you soon.